After 3,000 years, humanity returned to take revenge for Earth's destruction. But for now, that was still a dream. The dream had begun long ago, aboard a massive starship drifting silently through the void of space. Its name was the Phoenix, chosen carefully to reflect the hope of a species that had risen from the ashes of its own homeworld. Commander Elias Grant stood on the bridge, his eyes scanning the holographic displays that floated before him. Each screen showed planets, star systems, and distant galaxies, but one image dominated his mind: Earth. Once a blue and green jewel, Earth was now a silent ruin. 3,000 years ago, alien forces had arrived suddenly, their ships dark and massive, leaving no time for Earth's defenders to respond. Cities were vaporized in hours. Oceans boiled. The very air itself had become toxic for the few survivors who had somehow escaped into orbit. Humanity had fallen, but they had survived. The humans aboard the Phoenix were not ordinary people. Over millennia, they had adapted to life among the stars. Their bodies were stronger, their minds sharper, and their technology far beyond what humans of old could imagine. Yet they were not merely machines. They were humans in every sense of the word, curious, daring, and capable of great courage. Elias walked along the bridge past rows of crew members who were slowly awakening from cryogenic sleep. The soft hum of the ship's engines filled the air. It was a sound that had become familiar over thousands of years, yet it carried a weight now. This was not just a ship. This was humanity's last hope, a vessel carrying the seeds of revenge, rebirth, and survival. "Commander," said Lieutenant Mara Voss, her voice steady but tinged with excitement. She pointed to a monitor displaying a fragment of old Earth. "Recon drones report movement near the former orbit." "Alien patrols are active," Elias frowned. "After all these years?" "They're still here." Mara nodded. "It seems so. They've established bases around the remnants of the moon and the debris field where Earth once was. We need to plan carefully. They'll know something is coming soon." Elias leaned back against the rail, deep in thought. "We've waited 3,000 years, Mara. We've trained, prepared, and survived. If they are still here, then we are meant to face them. Humanity will return home." The crew continued their preparations. Engineers checked weapon systems, medics monitored the newly awakened humans for signs of stress, and strategists studied maps of alien patrol routes. Each action was precise, reflecting centuries of training and experience. Despite the calm exterior, a sense of tension hung over the bridge. This was the moment humanity had been waiting for, but the danger was real. In the central hall of the Phoenix, a group of humans gathered around a massive holographic map of the solar system. Elias joined them. Among the group were scientists, tacticians, and historians, all chosen for their skills and loyalty to humanity. "Look at this," said Dr. Nia Arden, a historian who had spent years studying the alien archives. She pointed at the holographic image of Earth. "This is where our ancestors fell. This is where we were defeated. And this," she said, her hand moving toward the orbiting debris, "is where they linger now, claiming our home as their own. But they are not invincible. They made mistakes, small mistakes, but enough for us to exploit." Elias nodded. "Explain." "They underestimated us," Nia said, her voice calm but filled with determination. "Humans adapted quickly to life in space. They evolved in ways these aliens could not predict. They learned from our old mistakes, using technology that combines our knowledge with what we learned from other civilizations. And now, after 3,000 years, we have the advantage of surprise. They believe humanity is gone. They believe we are weak. They are wrong." A murmur of agreement ran through the room. Humans had always been underestimated, and they had always found ways to survive. Elias turned to face the crew. "We are not just fighting for revenge. We are fighting for justice. For every city burned, for every life lost, for every dream cut short. Humanity returns not only to reclaim Earth, but to show the universe what it means to face a human." The words struck a chord with everyone in the room. Each person had a reason for being there. Family lost, ancestors avenged, or simply the desire to ensure humanity would never be erased again. That night, the ship's artificial gravity maintained a quiet routine. Most of the newly awakened humans were resting, recovering from centuries in cryosleep. Elias walked the corridors alone, thinking about what awaited them. He passed the observation deck, looking out at the stars. Earth was a small dot among countless celestial bodies, yet to him it was the center of everything. He remembered stories passed down through generations, the stories of Earth's oceans, forests, and skies. He remembered tales of courage from humans long gone, stories of explorers, scientists, and leaders who had once walked freely on their home planet. Now only their memories remained, and it was up to him and his crew to honor them. "Commander Grant," a voice called from behind. Elias turned to see Lieutenant Voss approaching. "You should rest. Full-scale operations are still days away, but you need your strength." Elias shook his head. "Rest is for when the fight is over. Right now, I need to plan. I need to know every detail of their defenses, their patrols, and their weaknesses. We have waited 3,000 years. I won't waste a single second." Mara nodded, understanding the weight on his shoulders. "Then I'll help you. Together, we'll make sure humanity does not falter." The next morning, the crew gathered for their first briefing. Holograms displayed detailed models of alien patrols and installations in Earth's former orbit. The aliens had not simply survived, they had expanded. Mining operations were extracting resources from the asteroid belt, and orbital platforms controlled trade and communication. Any plan for revenge had to account for these structures. "Here's our approach," said Elias, pointing at the holographic display. "We will send a small strike team first. Their mission is to gather intelligence and disable key systems. We cannot afford a full-scale assault without knowing their strength. Humans are clever, adaptable, and determined. We will use these qualities to our advantage." The crew studied the plan, asking questions, raising concerns, and offering suggestions. The discussion was intense but productive. Each human contributed, showing why humanity had survived while countless others had fallen. Later, Elias visited the training chamber. Humans trained not only their bodies but their minds. Combat simulations tested reflexes, problem-solving, and teamwork. Each session pushed the limits of human capability. Soldiers practiced zero-gravity maneuvers, engineers ran rapid repair drills, and tacticians simulated battles with alien forces. All of it prepared them for the day they would face the forces that had destroyed their home. Elias paused to watch a young recruit execute a complicated maneuver. The soldier's movements were precise, controlled, and creative, qualities that humans had always used to survive against overwhelming odds. A sense of pride filled Elias's heart. This was humanity, resilient, daring, and unyielding. Days passed as the fleet approached the solar system. Drones scanned debris fields, satellites monitored alien patrols, and the crew continued their preparations. Tension built with each passing hour. Humanity had waited 3,000 years for this moment, and failure was not an option. One night, as Elias walked the observation deck again, he saw the first glimpses of the moon's surface. Alien structures dotted the landscape, their dark metallic forms casting shadows across the craters. The sight was both terrifying and motivating. Humanity had to reclaim their home. Humanity had to survive. Elias clenched his fists. "Soon," he whispered. "Soon Earth will be ours again." The stars outside seemed to shimmer in response, as if the universe itself waited for the return of humanity. And so, after 3,000 years, humanity prepared to awaken not just as survivors, but as warriors, thinkers, and leaders. The ashes of the past would give rise to a new era. The humans aboard the Phoenix were ready to take the first steps toward vengeance, justice, and the ultimate return to their homeworld. The war for Earth's future had begun, not with fire and destruction, but with planning, courage, and the relentless spirit of humanity. The humans aboard the Phoenix had waited long enough. The moment for action had arrived. For 3,000 years, humanity had dreamed of returning to Earth, of reclaiming their home, and of taking revenge on the alien forces that had destroyed their planet. Now the fleet hovered silently in the shadow of the moon, cloaked in advanced technology that hid their presence from alien sensors. Commander Elias Grant gathered the strike team in the mission room. The holographic map displayed alien patrol routes, supply stations, and communication hubs. Every detail had been studied. Every possible scenario had been considered. "Listen carefully," Elias said, his voice calm but firm. "Our mission is not to destroy everything. That will come later. Our first task is intelligence. We need to know their defenses, their routines, and their weaknesses. The strike team will infiltrate the closest supply station. Mara, you will lead the team." Lieutenant Mara Voss stepped forward, her eyes sharp and confident. "We've trained for this for centuries." "We won't fail," Elias nodded. "Remember, humans survive because we adapt. Think, react, and never underestimate the enemy." Our ancestors fought impossible odds, so will we. The team moved quickly to the shuttle bay where a fleet of small, sleek ships awaited them. Unlike the large ships of the alien patrol, these shuttles were fast, agile, and equipped with stealth technology. Humans climbed aboard, checking weapons, systems, and supplies. Every detail mattered. As the shuttles detached from the Phoenix, the team could see the alien structures on the moon growing closer. The buildings were dark, metallic, and imposing, surrounded by automated defense systems. Despite their strength, humans had one advantage: surprise. The aliens did not expect humanity to return, not after 3 millennia. Mara piloted the lead shuttle with precision. The team held their breath as they approached the perimeter of the supply station. The alien patrol drones hovered silently, scanning for intruders. Using advanced cloaking technology, the shuttles slipped past the sensors undetected. "Stay sharp," Mara whispered over the comms. "We only get one chance at this." The team landed on a narrow platform that led into the supply station. Humans moved carefully, shadows among shadows, avoiding patrol drones and cameras. Each member carried tools for both combat and hacking, ready to disable defenses or defend themselves if discovered. Inside, the station was a maze of corridors, storage rooms, and control centers. Alien technology hummed with energy, strange symbols glowing faintly on screens. Humans had studied this tech for centuries, learning to understand it. Yet being face-to-face with it was different, intimidating even. Mara led the team to the main control room. "This is it," she said. "We extract the data, disable communications, and get out." Engineer Kiran Das quickly connected a portable interface to the alien systems. Sparks of light danced across the device as Kiran bypassed firewalls and security protocols. "Almost there," he muttered. Just a few more seconds. Suddenly, an alarm blared. The humans froze. A patrol drone had detected a minor fluctuation in the system, and the station was now on high alert. "Move," Mara commanded. "We adapt, humans. Always adapt." The team sprang into action. Soldiers took defensive positions, covering Kiran as he worked. Kiran's fingers flew over the interface, overriding security protocols. The drone activated its weapons, but Mara's team had anticipated this. Using quick, precise movements, they disabled the drone with electromagnetic pulses. "Got it," Kiran exclaimed as the final firewall fell. The control room's main screen revealed the station's data: patrol schedules, resource shipments, and a map of all nearby alien installations. Humanity now had the information they needed to plan their next moves. "Excellent work," Mara said. "Now let's shut down their communications before reinforcements arrive." Humans moved to the main terminal. Kiran uploaded a virus that spread through the station's network, disabling communication with the outer patrol ships. The alien systems flickered and died. The strike team had succeeded, but there was no time to celebrate. Reinforcements would arrive soon. Elias watched from the Phoenix, monitoring the strike team's progress through secure links. "They're doing well," he murmured. "But we can't underestimate the enemy. Always stay prepared." As predicted, alien reinforcements began to arrive. Small patrol ships descended toward the station, scanning for intruders. Mara's team had prepared for this scenario. They activated emergency escape pods hidden within the station. With speed and precision, humans evacuated, moving silently across the moon's surface toward pre-designated extraction points. Alien patrols fired upon them, but the humans had learned to anticipate such attacks. Using the terrain and their own advanced technology, they dodged incoming fire and reached the shuttles waiting at the extraction zones. Mara piloted the lead shuttle, weaving through enemy fire with skill and confidence. Once aboard, the shuttles activated cloaking fields and lifted off from the moon. The aliens had no idea humans had infiltrated their station, collected critical intelligence, and escaped unharmed. It was a perfect demonstration of human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. Back on the Phoenix, Elias greeted the returning strike team. "Well done," he said, his voice filled with pride. "You've reminded the universe why humans are never to be underestimated. Today we strike not just with weapons, but with intelligence, strategy, and skill. This is the first step in reclaiming our home." The crew celebrated quietly, knowing that this was only the beginning. Humanity had tasted victory, and it fueled their determination. Each member of the team understood that the path ahead would be long and dangerous, but they also understood that they had the strength to face it. Dr. Naya Arden analyzed the data recovered from the station. "These maps will help us predict alien movements," she said. "We can disrupt their supply lines, weaken their defenses, and prepare for larger battles. Humans have always used strategy, not just strength, to survive, and now, strategy will help us reclaim Earth." Over the next days, the fleet moved closer to Earth's orbit, using the intelligence gathered to plan future strikes. Small teams were sent on reconnaissance missions, while engineers developed new tools and weapons adapted to alien technology. The humans worked tirelessly, knowing that every small success brought them closer to their ultimate goal. Meanwhile, Elias reflected on the journey of humanity. For thousands of years, humans had survived in exile, scattered across distant star systems. They had faced dangers, hardships, and uncertainty, yet through it all, one trait remained constant: the human spirit. Curiosity, courage, and ingenuity had allowed them to endure. Now these same traits would allow them to reclaim their homeworld. One night, as the fleet hovered in the dark expanse of space, Elias visited the observation deck. Below him, the moon glimmered faintly, its surface scarred by centuries of neglect and alien occupation. Earth, barely visible beyond the moon, appeared as a pale blue dot, a reminder of what had been lost and what must be regained. Lieutenant Mara Voss joined him. "They think they are safe," she said quietly. "They have no idea humans are back." Elias nodded. "And when they realize, it will be too late." Humanity never forgets. Humanity never surrenders. We return stronger, smarter, and ready to fight. The universe will learn to fear the human name once again. The stars outside the observation deck seemed to shimmer with possibility. For the first time in 3,000 years, humans were not running from destruction. They were returning to take it head-on. Every plan, every maneuver, every act of courage was a step toward revenge and reclamation. Elias clenched his fists, a mixture of determination and hope in his heart. "Prepare the fleet," he said. "Tomorrow we strike again. And this time it will be bigger. The first strike has shown our strength, but the real war for Earth is just beginning." The humans aboard the Phoenix trained, strategized, and prepared through the night. Every system was checked, every crew member ready, every strategy reviewed. Intelligence was now their greatest weapon. Humanity had learned from the past, adapted to the present, and prepared for the future, and so the stage was set. The first strike had been a success, but the real challenge lay ahead. Humanity would not just return to Earth, they would reclaim it. And when the alien overlords realized the human fleet was back, they would understand why Earth's defenders were legendary across the stars. For humanity, the wait was over. For humanity, the fight had begun. And for the universe, the return of humans was a force that could not be ignored. The success of the first strike had electrified the crew of the Phoenix. For the first time in 3,000 years, humanity had proven they could challenge the alien forces that had destroyed Earth. But Commander Elias Grant knew that one small victory was only the beginning. The real war was yet to come, and to win it, humans would need allies. "Humanity cannot fight alone," Elias said during the next fleet briefing. Holographic maps displayed sectors of space controlled by the alien empire. Every system, every colony under their rule has suffered. There are those who will join us if we can reach them. We must find them before the aliens strengthen their defenses. Lieutenant Mara Voss studied the map, pointing to a distant sector. "These are the colonies where oppression is heaviest. We have evidence of resistance movements. If we can contact them, they may lend us ships, intelligence, and soldiers." Elias nodded. "We move carefully. Approach with caution, but make our intentions clear. Humanity returns not as conquerors, but as liberators. We fight together, or we fail alone." Within hours, the Phoenix deployed reconnaissance shuttles to the first distant system. The humans had prepared messages in multiple alien languages, demonstrating peaceful intentions. Every communication emphasized shared goals: freedom, survival, and the chance to rise against an oppressive force. In the first system, the humans encountered the Valorians, a race of tall, slender beings with translucent skin and luminescent eyes. The Valorians had suffered under alien rule for centuries. Their cities were heavily monitored, their technology stolen or destroyed. When the humans landed and sent their message, the Valorians were cautious but curious. Elias personally led the delegation to the Valorian capital. The streets were silent, shadowed by the remnants of alien occupation. He could feel the fear and despair that lingered in the air. Yet he also sensed hope, a faint, fragile spark that humans had come to rekindle. A Valorian elder stepped forward. Her voice was soft but resonant. "We have heard whispers of humans returning. After centuries of suffering, we dared not hope. Why have you come?" Elias bowed respectfully. "We have come to fight alongside those who seek freedom. Your people are not alone. Together we can challenge the forces that have enslaved the stars. Together we can reclaim what was taken from us." The elder studied Elias carefully. "Words are easy. How do we know humans will not leave us again?" Elias smiled gently. "We were destroyed once, but we survived. We learned, adapted, and returned. Humanity does not abandon those who share our fight. We act not for glory, but for justice." After hours of negotiation, the Valorians agreed to join humanity. They offered ships, pilots, and intelligence on alien patrols in their sector. The humans shared their knowledge of tactics and strategy, teaching the Valorians to combine their unique abilities with human ingenuity. Next, the fleet traveled to the Nalkari system, home to a reptilian race known for their strength and courage. The Nalkari had resisted alien control for generations but lacked the resources to win. When Elias arrived, he found a war council gathered in a massive stone chamber. "We have fought them for centuries," said the Nalkari leader, a towering figure named Raxul. "Yet we are still bound by fear and lack of coordination. How can humans help us succeed?" Elias replied with quiet confidence. "We have fought too, and we have survived. Humans adapt, we learn, and we innovate. We will teach you to use your strength strategically, to combine it with precision and intelligence. Alone you fight. Together we win." Raxul grunted, considering Elias's words. "Then we will join you. For freedom, for revenge, for our future." With two races allied, humanity's fleet grew stronger. Engineers worked tirelessly, integrating Valorian and Nalkari technology with human systems. Communication protocols were synchronized, weapons systems adjusted, and training drills conducted across the fleet. Each member learned from the others, adapting to new abilities, languages, and battle tactics. The alliance brought more than strength. It brought hope. Crew members who had grown up hearing stories of Earth felt a renewed sense of purpose. Children of human survivors born among the stars learned the values of courage, strategy, and cooperation. Humanity's spirit was spreading, not just through humans, but across alien allies who now understood what it meant to fight with ingenuity and determination. Meanwhile, reconnaissance missions revealed that the aliens had grown complacent. They believed humanity was extinct, their enemies scattered and weak. Patrols had become routine, resources allocated carelessly, and defenses static. The humans exploited these weaknesses, conducting small, precise raids that disrupted supply lines and gathered intelligence. Each victory, no matter how small, reinforced the idea that humans could challenge even the most powerful forces in the galaxy. One day, as Elias reviewed the fleet's progress, Dr. Nia Arden approached him. "Commander, I've analyzed the intelligence we've gathered from the Valorians and Nalkari. The alien empire is far larger than we imagined. Their control reaches multiple star systems, with advanced technology and disciplined soldiers. But there are gaps. There are weaknesses we can exploit." Elias studied the data, his mind racing. "Then we focus on those gaps. We strike strategically, using our allies, our technology, and our creativity. Humanity may have been gone for 3,000 years, but we return smarter, stronger, and ready to reclaim what is ours." That night, the Allied fleet gathered near the edge of a star system. Ships of all shapes and sizes floated together, a testament to cooperation and shared determination. Humans, Valorians, and Nalkari stood side by side, preparing for the assaults that would follow. Campfires and lights glimmered on ship decks as individuals shared stories of lost homes, dreams of freedom, and hopes for a future where oppression no longer existed. Elias walked among them, speaking quietly to crews and officers. He shared tales of human history, the rise and fall of civilizations, and the enduring spirit that had survived extinction. He reminded them that courage, intelligence, and cooperation were more powerful than any weapon. "You are not just allies," he said to a gathering of young soldiers and pilots. "You are family. We fight together, we survive together, and we reclaim our worlds together. Remember, humans are clever, adaptable, and relentless. When we fight, we do not surrender. We find solutions, exploit opportunities, and rise above any challenge." The next days were filled with drills, strategy sessions, and careful reconnaissance. Humans taught their allies techniques for stealth, rapid strikes, and coordination across multiple starships. Engineers shared advanced repair methods, allowing ships to recover quickly from damage. Pilots learned maneuvers that combined the strengths of human reflexes with the unique abilities of alien species. Then, Elias called a final council before the next assault. We have allies. We have intelligence. We have technology. And most importantly, we have courage. Tomorrow we strike again. Not just for intelligence, but to weaken their hold on Earth's orbit. We fight not only for revenge, but for freedom. Humanity and its allies will show the universe that oppression cannot endure against the determined. Maravos nodded, looking at the assembled fleet. We will succeed. We fight together and we fight smart. Humanity has returned and we will reclaim our home. Elias looked at the stars beyond the observation deck, imagining Earth and the alien forces that had claimed it. He felt a surge of determination. 3 millennia of loss and exile had led to this moment. Humans had returned stronger, smarter, and wiser. The universe would soon witness what it meant when humanity and its allies decided to fight. The first strike had proven that humans could succeed alone, but part 3 of their journey showed something even greater. Together, humanity could inspire courage, forge alliances, and prepare for victories that would reshape the galaxy. And so, with allies at their side and strategy guiding their every move, humanity prepared for the next phase of their mission. The war for Earth's future was no longer a dream. It was beginning in reality. Humans and their allies would strike at the heart of the alien empire, showing that resilience, courage, and intelligence could overcome even the greatest adversaries. For humanity, the fight was more than revenge. It was justice. For their allies, it was freedom. And for the universe, it was a demonstration of what could happen when species united for a cause greater than themselves. Elias Grant clenched his fist, looking at the gathered fleet. Tomorrow we fight again. And when we do, the galaxy will remember the name of humanity, not as victims, but as warriors, leaders, and survivors. Together, we reclaim our home. The stars outside glimmered, reflecting the determination within the fleet. Humans had returned, and now they had allies. Together, they were a force that no alien empire could ignore. The path ahead was dangerous, but for the first time in 3,000 years, hope burned brighter than fear. Humanity was not just back. Humanity was ready. The day of the first full-scale assault on Earth's orbit had finally arrived. The allied fleet of humans, Valorians, and Nalkari hovered in silent formation, the black expanse of space stretching endlessly before them. Commander Elias Grant stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, his eyes scanning the holographic display of the alien stations orbiting the ruined planet. Every line, every shadow, every weak point had been mapped. Every decision carried the weight of millennia of loss. Status report, Elias commanded, his voice steady. Lieutenant Maravos reported, all ships are in position. Cloaking is active on forward units. Weapons are charged. Allies are ready. The aliens have not detected our approach. Elias nodded. Good. Today humanity strikes. Not just for intelligence, not just for survival, but for Earth itself. Remember, our strength lies in our strategy and our unity. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. The fleet moved forward, the hum of engines and the faint shimmer of cloaking technology signaling the calm before the storm. Alien patrols floated above the debris field, unaware that their long-lost enemy had returned. The humans had studied their routines, learned their patterns, and planned every maneuver. Yet Elias knew better than to underestimate any opponent. Engage forward units, he ordered. We begin with targeted strikes on their communication satellites. We blind them first, then move in for the main assault. Small human and allied strike ships darted through space, faster and more agile than the clunky alien patrols. Using the element of surprise, they destroyed key satellite nodes, cutting off communications between the stations and the alien command ships. The aliens, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Prepare boarding teams, Elias said. We hit their central command station next. A group of humans and Nalkari, armed with energy weapons and advanced tools, boarded the station silently. Maravos led the team, moving swiftly through narrow corridors and shadowed chambers. Alien soldiers patrolled in predictable patterns, unaware that their routines were being used against them. Split into units, Mara commanded. Team A disables weapons. Team B gathers intelligence. Team C secures the command center. The humans moved like shadows, their training evident in every step. Kiran Das, the lead engineer, hacked into alien security systems, disabling turrets and cameras. Valorian allies used their unique abilities to manipulate the station's energy fields, creating temporary shields and diversions. Suddenly, a patrol drone activated nearby. Its sensors glowed as it scanned the corridor. Mara raised her hand. "Wait for my signal." The drone moved closer, unaware that humans and allies lay in hiding. At the perfect moment, Mara triggered a silent pulse from her device. The drone powered down instantly, and the team continued forward, undetected. Meanwhile, aboard the larger ships of the fleet, humans and allied pilots engaged alien fighters in the debris field. The alien ships were fast, but humans adapted quickly, using unpredictable maneuvers and coordinated attacks. Small fighter teams flanked the alien cruisers, disrupting their formations and protecting the boarding teams. Elias monitored the battle from the bridge of the Phoenix. "Focus fire on the central turrets," he ordered. "We cannot let them destroy our shuttles. Keep the lines clear for boarding teams." The assault was intense. Explosions rocked the stations and alarms blared across the alien network. Yet the humans remained calm, their centuries of preparation guiding every action. Mara's team reached the command center and quickly secured it. Alien officers attempted to resist, but human ingenuity and allied support overwhelmed them. "Command center secured," Mara reported. "Kiran is downloading all intelligence. Weapon systems are offline." "Excellent," Elias said. "Now prepare for extraction. We cannot linger." "Reinforcements are coming." The team retraced their steps, moving through corridors filled with flickering lights and damaged equipment. Alien soldiers began to mobilize, but humans and allies used every advantage, terrain, technology, and timing, to evade capture. Shuttles waited at pre-designated points, engines ready to lift them away from the chaos. Outside, the fleet engaged alien cruisers in coordinated attacks. Humans used innovative tactics, combining speed, strategy, and precision. Valorians manipulated energy fields to shield allied ships. Nalkari fighters used brute strength in hand-to-hand combat in zero gravity when boarding alien vessels. The synergy between humans and their allies created a force unlike anything the aliens had encountered before. Despite the chaos, humans never lost focus. Every action was purposeful, every maneuver calculated. They exploited weaknesses, used creative tactics, and adapted instantly to changing conditions. What the aliens perceived as chaos was actually precise strategy, a demonstration of why humans had survived against impossible odds for millennia. Back on the Phoenix, Elias studied the holographic feeds. The first wave of stations was neutralized. Communication lines were cut, weapons were disabled, and vital intelligence was in human hands. The fleet had achieved what seemed impossible, a coordinated strike that crippled a key sector of alien control. Dr. Nia Arden analyzed the captured data. "The aliens are more organized than we imagined, but these breaches will cause confusion across their network. They will struggle to respond effectively to future strikes. Humanity and its allies now have the upper hand." Elias allowed himself a small nod of satisfaction. "Good work. But remember, this is only the beginning. The main stations in orbit around Earth remain. We must continue to strike strategically, maintaining our advantage and exploiting every opportunity." That evening, as the fleet regrouped, humans and allies celebrated quietly. Ships hovered together in orbit, repairs being made, supplies restocked, and strategies reviewed. Though the battle had been fierce, humanity had proven its ingenuity and resilience. Mara Voss walked beside Elias on the observation deck of the Phoenix. "They didn't see it coming," she said, her voice tinged with awe. "Every move we made, they were unprepared. Humanity has returned." Elias looked at the stars, imagining Earth and the alien forces that had claimed it. "They will remember us," he said quietly. "They will learn that humans are not to be underestimated. We fight not only with weapons, but with minds, courage, and the will to survive. Today we have shown the universe what humans can do." The next days were filled with further operations. Small units infiltrated supply chains, gathered intelligence, and sabotaged alien infrastructure. Each victory reinforced the alliance's strength, building confidence across species. Humans taught their allies advanced techniques for rapid strikes, improvisation, and teamwork. Elias called another council with his senior officers. "The enemy is shaken but not defeated. Their main stations in Earth's orbit are heavily fortified. We will strike there next. The success of this operation shows that humans and allies together can challenge any force. But we must remain careful. Precision, planning, and adaptability will determine the outcome. The Council agreed. Plans were refined, shuttles were equipped, and boarding teams prepared. Each crew member understood that the next battle would be even greater, but morale was high. Humanity had returned after 3,000 years, and nothing would stop them from reclaiming Earth. That night, Elias walked the observation deck alone. Below him, the moon glimmered faintly, and Earth appeared as a fragile, distant sphere, scarred but not destroyed. The humans aboard the Phoenix had taken the first steps in reclaiming their home. They had shown courage, strategy, and unity. Soon, Elias whispered, clenching his fists, soon, Earth will be ours again. He thought of humanity's past, the cities, forests, oceans, and skies of Earth long gone. He thought of those who had perished and those who had survived, scattered across the stars. Their lives had led to this moment, a moment when humans, stronger and wiser than ever, had the chance to reclaim what had been stolen. And so, the war for Earth's orbit continued, each strike more daring than the last. Humanity had proven that survival was not enough. They had returned to fight, to reclaim, and to inspire allies across the galaxy. Every maneuver, every act of courage, and every strategic decision brought them closer to victory. Elias looked at the stars, knowing that the battles ahead would be difficult. Yet he also knew that humanity had faced impossible odds before and had prevailed. With allies at their side, with intelligence guiding their actions, and with courage driving their hearts, humans were unstoppable. The alien stations might have believed themselves safe, but they had underestimated the human spirit. The first wave of assaults had revealed the truth. Humans were clever, adaptable, and relentless. Now, armed with knowledge, allies, and determination, humanity prepared for the final assaults in Earth's orbit. The stars shimmered like distant beacons of hope. Humanity's return was no longer a dream. It was reality. The final assault on Earth's orbit had begun. The Allied fleet, composed of humans, Valorians, and Nalkari, approached the alien stronghold like a tide of determination and strength. Commander Elias Grant stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, calm yet focused. After 3,000 years of exile, humanity was finally here, ready to reclaim their home. All units report, Elias commanded. Lieutenant Mara Voss spoke over the comms. Forward strike units are in position. Cloaking still active. Boarding teams ready. Weapons charged. Aliens have no idea we're here. Elias nodded. Good, today we end this. We strike not just for revenge, but for freedom. For Earth. For the future of every being who has suffered under oppression. Remember, precision and unity win battles, not just brute force. The fleet surged forward. Alien patrols scrambled, alerted by minor disturbances from previous raids, but they underestimated the scale and coordination of humanity's return. Human pilots and allied fighters moved with unmatched agility, weaving through asteroid debris and incoming fire, striking with intelligence and precision. On board the alien command station, Mara led the boarding team through corridors brimming with alien technology. Security drones patrolled heavily, but humans and allies moved with practiced stealth. Engineers disabled turrets and cameras as the team advanced. Command center is ahead, Mara whispered. We take control, disable their defenses, and open the station for the fleet. Kiran Das, the engineer, connected his interface to the alien systems. Sparks danced across the device as he bypassed firewalls and security protocols. Almost there. Just a few more seconds. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station. The aliens had detected the intrusion. Mara signaled the team. Positions. We adapt, humans. Remember what we've trained for. The boarding team sprang into action. Human soldiers coordinated with Nalkari fighters, whose strength allowed them to neutralize alien guards swiftly. Valorians manipulated energy fields to shield allies and disable enemy drones. Every movement was precise, every action planned yet adaptable. Outside, the fleet engaged alien cruisers in orbit. The aliens fired relentlessly, but humans and allies anticipated each move, countering with strategy and teamwork. The combined forces created a force unlike any the aliens had faced in centuries. Command center secured. Mara shouted over comms. Kiran, disable the main defense systems now. Kieran's fingers flew over the interface, and the alien station's weapons flickered and went offline. Communications were jammed, and reinforcements from other sectors were delayed. Humanity and their allies now held the advantage. Elias studied the holographic feeds. The central stronghold's defenses were down, and the Allied fleet prepared for the final phase. Forward units move in. Boarding shuttles prepare to deploy on the main station. Today, Earth is within our reach. The boarding shuttles launched, gliding silently past disabled turrets and broken patrol drones. Mara's team led the charge, entering the main station with precision and determination. Human ingenuity, combined with alien abilities, allowed them to overcome obstacles that would have stopped ordinary forces. Inside, they faced the alien commanders, the final resistance in orbit. The beings were formidable, but humans and allies had the advantage of planning, knowledge, and adaptability. Every move of the aliens was countered with careful strategy. The battle was intense, but victory grew closer with every coordinated strike. "Keep pushing forward," Mara urged. "The station's control hub is just ahead." They reached the hub, a vast room filled with alien technology. Kieran began downloading critical data while the team defended their position. Alien forces attempted a last stand, but humans and allies worked in perfect harmony, neutralizing threats with efficiency and focus. Meanwhile, in orbit, the Allied fleet disabled remaining enemy cruisers, clearing the path for the final boarding teams. The human strategy of combining intelligence, adaptability, and Allied cooperation had turned the battle in their favor. Alien forces were overwhelmed, disoriented, and unable to respond effectively. "Data secure," Kieran announced. "We have full control of the station." "Excellent," Mara replied. "Prepare for extraction and open docking for the fleet." The alien station systems now under human control, the fleet docked, and the final reinforcements were deployed. Humans and allies flooded the corridors, neutralizing any remaining resistance. The station was theirs. Communications from other sectors were intercepted, and humanity now had full control of orbital defenses around Earth. Elias allowed a brief smile. "We've done it," he said quietly. "Today, humanity returns home." Across the fleet, celebrations were restrained but heartfelt. Humanity had reclaimed Earth's orbit, but they knew the planet itself was still scarred and in need of restoration. They also understood that their victory was not just for humans. It was for every being oppressed by the alien empire. Elias called a council to plan the next phase. "The orbit is secured, but Earth is still damaged. We must begin restoring communication, resources, and settlements. We must help those who survived, repair what we can, and ensure that Earth and its allies thrive once again. Humanity did not return just to fight. We returned to rebuild." The Valorians and Nalkari expressed their support. "We fought together," said Rexul, the Nalkari leader. "We will rebuild together. Freedom is not just victory, it is responsibility." Elias nodded. "Exactly. We reclaim our home, and in doing so, we honor those who came before us. We honor the human spirit, and we honor the courage of all our allies." Over the following weeks, humans and allied forces worked tirelessly. Damaged stations were repaired, resources were redistributed, and Earth's orbit was secured. Communication systems were restored, allowing survivors scattered across the stars to return home safely. Humans taught their allies advanced techniques for infrastructure repair, energy management, and sustainable systems. On the Moon, a small human settlement was established as the first step in rebuilding. The site overlooked Earth, still recovering from centuries of alien occupation. Humans and allies worked side by side, planting crops, constructing buildings, and repairing technology. Each action was a symbol of hope, courage, and the resilience of the human spirit. Elias stood on the observation deck of the Phoenix, looking at Earth. The planet's surface bore the scars of destruction, but it also held the promise of renewal. Humanity had returned stronger and wiser than ever. Their spirit, ingenuity, and determination had overcome impossible odds. Mara Voss joined him. "We did it," she said softly. "After 3,000 years, humans are home again." Elias smiled. "Yes, and this is just the beginning. We rebuild, we learn, and we protect our home. Humanity has returned not just to survive, but to thrive." Across Earth's orbit, the Allied fleet patrolled calmly. Human ingenuity combined with Allied strength ensured that no enemy could challenge them again easily. For the first time in millennia, The universe recognized that humans were not to be underestimated. Their intelligence, courage, and adaptability made them a force unlike any other. In the weeks that followed, humans and allies coordinated efforts to restore life on Earth. Resources were distributed, damaged cities assessed, and communication hubs repaired. The planet slowly began to heal, a testament to the perseverance and creativity of humanity and their allies. Children born among the stars now looked forward to a home where they could grow safely. Communities rebuilt from the ruins, united by shared experiences and the collective strength of cooperation. Humanity had returned, not as a scattered exile, but as a united force, ready to reclaim and protect their legacy. Elias reflected on the journey. 3 millennia of survival, exile, and hope had led to this moment. Humans had adapted, learned, and returned stronger than ever. They had reclaimed Earth's orbit, built alliances, and shown the universe what it meant to fight with intelligence and courage. Humanity never forgets, Elias said quietly. We endure, we adapt, we return, and we will never surrender again. Mara looked at the planet below, her eyes filled with determination. And now we rebuild. Earth will thrive again, and humans will ensure that freedom and courage guide the future. Elias nodded. Exactly. Humanity has returned. Our fight was not just for revenge, it was for survival, for hope, and for the future. And we will honor that future every day. As the fleet hovered in orbit, Earth slowly healed beneath them. Humanity had returned not as a defeated species, but as a triumphant, intelligent, and resourceful force. They had reclaimed their home, inspired allies, and restored hope to the universe. The stars above shone brighter than ever, reflecting the determination and spirit of humanity. For 3,000 years, Earth had been lost. For 3,000 years, humans had survived, adapted, and dreamed. And now humanity had returned not just to survive, but to thrive, rebuild, and protect the home that had once been destroyed. The journey was long, the battles fierce, but humanity had proven that resilience, courage, and intelligence were stronger than any adversary. Earth was theirs once again, and the universe would never forget the return of humanity.